Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex, live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm Dylan Simmons, joined by my broadcast partner, Ryan Martinelich, and we are ready to watch number 21 Middle Tennessee as they host the Austin Peay Governors. What a fantastic Sunday it is for tennis, Ryan.
Absolutely, Dylan. Especially this morning, we saw the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders win against SMU, so a great way to start this Sunday. And once again, going into another in-state rival here with Austin Peay. Just great to see that tennis team is back on a winning streak.
They are back on a winning streak after avenging that loss to Oklahoma State on Friday night, a bitterly disappointing loss. We heard from Coach Jimmy in that post-game interview just after the win over SMU that they had not lost a Friday night home game here since 2018. So a lot on the mind of the Blue Raiders, but they got that victory. And now, though, it's time to refocus, retool themselves, and get ready for this next game. And that comes with a lot of territory here, Ryan.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, it's like you said, a cathedral, right? So you want to defend the holy sanctum, right? You want to defend your hometown, your home team. And, it's just something about the Adams Tennis Complex that has just proven to be such a tough place to win for any road team that, once you kind of lose, you're like, I don't know what that was about. You start to kind of maybe a little doubt yourself. But, once again, we saw them take care of business against SMU in that 4-1 victory. So clearly back on the winning ways.
Well, for Austin Peay, the ATC has been a house of horrors, no doubt about that. They are 8-0, or 0-8 actually, against Coach Jimmy Borndame. And all-time, MTSU holds a sizable advantage in the all-time streak record. So they've got a lot on their minds and are hoping to perform very well and continue the momentum that they started in the last game. And we'll be getting doubles action here very shortly between these two teams, Middle Tennessee and Austin Peay. Starting on in court one, it'll be Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Marcel Kamrowski, some of the younger players getting an opportunity. They're going to be taking on Ania Schwab and Sola Minami. On court two, we've got Pavel Model and Baran Solier, and they'll be taking on Giovanni Beckus and Tom Bolton. Court three, we've got Shu Matsuoka and Andre Horak, and they will be taking on Hogan Stoker and Thiago Nogueira. And that is your starting lineup for the doubles matches, and it will be commencing shortly as the coin tosses are being made, and we will see how doubles will shake out here at the ATC with a 4 o'clock start time. And there you see what will soon be doubles action on court one, and the new pairing of Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Marcel Kamrowski. But Ryan, Coach Jimmy is looking to give some younger players an opportunity today.
Well, just to showcase the talent. We saw Marcel, I think this is a rebounding opportunity, kind of struggled in singles earlier today, losing in straight sets. So this is an opportunity to kind of get his mind right, maybe going into singles again and play another matchup on that 5 court.
And we will see the first serve coming here from Oscar Brostrom-Polson, who had that dominant victory last game. As that one will fall just a little bit wide. But had a dominant victory last game over SMU. A great victory for him as well, personally, after suffering a tough loss against Oklahoma State, able to get some level of revenge. That one's going to fall to the outside, so Middle Tennessee will take a 15-love lead early over on court one. Nicely done on the back end.
Yeah, Kamrowski there right over the net, had that nice little backhand tap shot, but just not quite down in time, and then he trying to get that front hand around. Just wasn't able to defend it down that ball down the middle line.
And that was a laser from Oscar Brostrom-Polson. Looks like it was called a little wide, so Austin Peay will spread out. And they'll add to their lead, 30-love. Nicely done that time. Marcel Kamrowski was right there, perfect placement, and Austin Peay has to watch it go into the net. It's going to be interesting to see how Austin Peay will defend this barrage of Middle Tennessee strikes. We know they like to play fast, especially in the early going. Raiders want to make a statement early on.
Yeah, you just got to be careful around that service line area. That's where you're going to find most of your trouble because they like to do those little kind of lob shots just inside the net. So you just got to make sure you're defending your front line as easily as possible and not give them any opportunities to send one in there.
Ania Schwab sent that one out of bounds. Serve coming up here for MT. And that one will fall wide. One difference between collegiate and high school tennis, they do play the lets, which is something that isn't brought up much but could play a factor here. But not this time. Goes instantly out. So Middle Tennessee will take a 40-0 lead, and Austin Peay finding themselves on the precipice of going down 1-0. Governors lost 7-0 last year to this same Middle Tennessee team. And looks to be more of the same early on as Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Marcel Kamrowski get things done in a hurry. It's like they're trying to go to Applebee's. They want to get to it and get there quickly on date night. 1-0 Middle Tennessee on court 1.
Yeah, tough start, but still a lot of tennis to be played. Yeah, it's, you mentioned those barrages. Certainly, we're seeing that on the service line. It's just one of those things there. You just gotta, you kind of have to have a speedometer with some of those serves, so you just don't know how to come around to them. Coming at you so fast.
Speaking of coming at you fast, there's another brilliant serve. Nicely done by Pavel Moldl, I believe. Or excuse me, no, that's court 3. That is Andre Horak and Shu Matsuoka. My apologies there. As they'll head over to the changeover station. And they are now up 1-0. Looking to keep up the momentum that they have established here in the early going. And again, they are taking on Thiago Naguara and Hogan Stoker. Hogan Stoker, the sophomore from Greenwood, Missouri, earned first-team all-conference honors 3 times in his career while in Missouri and kept a 4.0 GPA while in high school. Brilliant guy. Very smart both in the classroom and on the tennis court. But all that book reading is only going to do so much when you're facing the force of Middle Tennessee.
Certainly gives you an opportunity to study your opponent. So that was a great smash hit from Horak there.
Right you are, and Middle Tennessee, of course, loves to do some studying of their own, as they have done all season, and they're going to have a lot of tough road matches coming up after this game, as we'll mention throughout this broadcast, as that one will go out for Shu Matsuoka. Going to be some big tests on the horizon for the Blue Raiders, but something they're looking forward to. And it looks like that one's going to fall to the outside, and it might have just snuck in that time for the Governors. Kind of snuck it past Andre on the back line. Great job by Austin Peay that time.
Yeah, just right down the alley there, just hitting that back line inside the alley lines. Tough place to go after if you're Andre.
We'll see Shu Matsuoka get ready for his next shoe shiner. Here comes the serve. And that one will fall into the net. Shu's been getting a lot more opportunities as of late. Played doubles in against SMU with Andre. And again, double faulting, so bit of a mistake for Shu Matsuoka. Shu has yet to pull double duty this year. This is his first time. Did not do so the last time the Raiders played twice in one day, which was February the 5th. So a bit of a new experience in that department as well. Next windmill coming in.
Yeah, right now his timing's just a little off there. These last couple of serves. Just coming down on it a hair late. Beautiful backhanded there from Shu.
Beautiful indeed. Love the slice that he decided to approach that with. Shu Matsuoka has some great form whenever he's able to return some of these balls, and does it again as you see Coach Callie going over to discuss things with both Andre and Shu. And Shu is definitely feeling it right now as he's going to head over towards the corner. Did double fault the time before this last time, so we'll see what happens. And therein lies the biggest difference between Middle Tennessee and Austin Peay at the moment. Blue Raiders have just a little bit extra mustard on a lot of these releases, and Austin Peay's having trouble keeping up.
Well, there, Shu right there had gotten teed up twice perfectly. Once on that return, and then just kind of sat there in the alley where he was able to tee it up once more, and Austin Peay just had to get out of the way of that one. But that also could have been in the net. I mean, those are very tough shots to time properly, especially cross court, from end to end like that.
First serve is going to be out of play. See Matsuoka playing this one fairly far back. And it's going to deflect off the net and go over into court 1. So that should result in another 15 points for Austin Peay. And the Governors continue to stay put, not quite giving up yet despite the 2-0 deficit on court 3. Of course, Andre Horak has had a fantastic freshman season, especially when it comes to singles. 10-0, the only undefeated Raider left, and whenever you see him on a singles court, you can almost guarantee a victory. And he's not too shabby at doubles either, although this one's going to fall into the net as he kind of had a failed backhand that time, looking for a cross-court kind of shot. And we'll see Middle Tennessee get back into the defensive. Governors looking to net their first points of the match in terms of winning a game, as the next serve will be coming here from the Governors. That one a little too far outside. This time it's going to fall right into the net. Great return that time by Shu. Put a little bit of the spin doctor on it, and Austin Peay could do nothing but watch the ball fly straight into the net.
Do you know who the spin doctors were?
That is something that I've heard before, but I'd have to confirm exactly who they were in the past. He's putting some spin on it regardless.
Music group from the 90s and 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah, hit song Two Princes. So,
lesson of the day. Fun fact.
I didn't know if that was what you were going for. You and your puns. I thought you were making a reference to that somewhere.
I had
Being
heard
doubles, Two Princes.
They are spin doctors in any way. That'd be a good nickname for them. Back to action here. See Austin Peay getting ready for the next serve. Play site has potentially been updated here. We had a bit of a malfunction at the junction with it earlier, but looks like it's found its way. But a nice serve that time. Beautiful. I believe that was Stoker slicing it in. And Matsuoka kind of just had to spike it into the ground. So Austin Peay will get a match point, make it 2-1. And Middle Tennessee will head back to the changeover station. Still with an advantage, but a little bit less comfort to work with now. And it's going to be up to them to keep and maintain that advantage moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, they were already up a break there from that first game, but then both teams have held serve so far. So, yeah, just any opportunity you can to either hold your serve or break Austin Peay's serve is where it's going to be. But, yeah, 2-1, still plenty of time left to get up 3-1 or 3-3 or 3-1, 4-1, or if you're Austin Peay, make another opportunity to break point here. So we'll just have to see.
Plenty of time still on the table for both teams. We'll see what happens over on court 3. But for now, we're going to go back over to court 1. Oh, my goodness. And you see Oscar Brostrom-Polson say hello and goodbye to that shot. He buried that one into a huge hole. Nicely done. And that should make it 40-15.
Same thing right there, just right at the service line, teed up perfectly for that smash hit. And great serve there from Kamrowski.
Making more smash hits than the Beatles right now, and that's going to make it 2-1 for Middle Tennessee, as they'll take that into the changeover station, led by Oscar Brostrom-Polson's dynamic hits right up against the net. Also, Marcel Kamrowski playing some efficient tennis of his own, and the Blue Raiders will hold the advantage on court 1. We'll see how that development continues, and it looks like they're well on their way.
Yeah, this is a court where we kind of go back and forth between seeing Bolton and Beckus, as they usually alternate between courts 1 and 2. So interesting to see Aeneas here on court 1 going against OBP, Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Marcus Kamrowski, or Marcel Kamrowski.
Yes, definitely going to be one to watch for Middle Tennessee. They want to get some of the younger guys with an experience on a court 1, like Marcel Kamrowski and others. We will see what happens over on court 1 and some other courts as we move on. We're going to be heading over to court number 3 once again, as Shu Matsuoka and Andre Horak are back in session. 15-all game over there. And again, Andre Horak has had a fantastic freshman season, but Shu Matsuoka has come into his own these past few weeks. has netted some big wins, including a big doubles win against Oklahoma State that almost got his team the victory. That one will fly out of play. And Andre Horak, great recognition again, not to hit that ball too early and kind of just let Austin Peay make a mistake. 40-15 Blue Raiders. And that one will fall to play. And while we got a moment, let's go over to the sidelines to hear from the man who's always got the scoop, Mr. Grant Langston. What do you got for us?
Hey guys, well, as you've probably mentioned, we've got a few new Blue Raider pairings on the court this afternoon. Over on court number 2, Pavel Modal and Baran Soler dropped 2 games early, but just got a break back and are now on serve trying to bring it back.
All right, thank you, Grant. Appreciate it. Big news over there from court 2. So Baran and Pavel having some success. Certainly a team to watch out for. Oh, what a game of badminton that was. Shu Matsuoka swatting it away right at the net. And Austin Peay kind of just had the ball put at their feet as Shu's going to make it 40-30.
Yeah, he did a great job there. He kind of choked up there on his racket and just kind of flicked his wrist nicely. Get back-to-back hits there, and that second one flying right past O'Gara.
3-1 Middle Tennessee now. Up a break over the Governors. And that one will be a little bit too far. Second serve coming for Stoker. And again, Austin Peay struggling with some of these lower shots that Middle Tennessee's delivering. Sometimes low is the way to go, and with the Blue Raiders, it's not a question of if you can go low, it's how low can you go. 15 love. Austin Peay will get ready to serve from the left side, and Stoker, a lefty of his own. And that one will fall into the net. Left-handed players in any sport can be tricky to prepare for. But Middle Tennessee and Andre Horak seem well equipped for the challenge. Make that 30 love, Blue Raiders. And you got to know that Coach Jimmy is loving what he's seeing in terms of the development of his freshmen, Ryan, to see how they've come into their own and they continue to improve game in and game out. Future of the program continues to look brighter.
Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things where you have the opportunity to show out for your coach and your team. And games like these, you know, especially putting in the work you've put in, you know, off season, in the training room, and of course in the practice on the courts leading up to this. And yeah, she's just one of those players that has developed well early in his freshman season. So yeah, great opportunity for him to progress and look forward to his sophomore year. Same thing with, you know, Baran, with Andre Horak. So a lot to be excited about, and of course with Kamrowski.
And speaking of stuff to get excited about, Andre spiking it into the ground once again, the Rob Gronkowski style. Spiking it right down and get to yourself a 40-15 lead. Another break point coming up for Middle Tennessee. And the number 21 Raiders just continuing with this barrage of low shots. And that's another thing that Coach Jimmy works on day in and day out with his players to make sure they get the perfect accuracy on each of these shots. Makes it very tough on the opponent. And got to be careful if you're Stoker here. Last thing you want is a double fault. Give your opponent even more momentum. Moonball goes out, and the Blue Raiders will make it 4-1 on court 3. What a dominant start for Shu and Andre, creating a spark. And MTSU is getting their groove early on, so we continue to see the same kind of story playing out, Ryan. Blue Raiders getting off to this early start, getting a great advantage. Now let's see if they can finish it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them hold 2 serves now and break on 2 serves as well. So having that opportunity, like you said, to just take the advantage of what Court 2 has given them right now in Austin Peay. And right now, just everything not going their way on Court 2. However, right here on Court 3.
This is definitely the most competitive of the 3 doubles matches. And the unique pairing of Pavel Modal and Baran Soler, the Turkish technician as he's now known. And he is a technician out there on the court. Doesn't get to show his skills very often, but when he does, he proves just how vital he is to this team and what an important piece he will be in the future. As it is 2-2. And if Austin Peay wants any hope of springing an upset here, they're going to have to find a way to clinch this court away. We'll see if they can do that. Ooh, just out of bounds again. Right idea for Baran, but he just couldn't get it to sneak into that corner there, Ryan.
Yeah, he kind of held that racket just a hair open on that little slicer, and just too much hang time on it. Could not grab that corner in the alley. So, but yeah, like I said, right idea. Just needed to close down that wrist a little bit.
First serve will go wide for Austin Peay. And second serve will follow shortly. Windmills up. Ooh, nice split of the difference that time. Governor is starting to build up a little bit of momentum over on court two. A nice shot right down the alley. And I believe that was Beckus who delivered it. Nicely done. And now we'll see some communication between the Governors. Communication between teammates often key in these scenarios. And again, it goes out of bounds. So some uncharacteristic mistakes from Pavel Model and Baran Soiler, and that will lead it to 2-3. Austin Peay getting the lead over on court number 2. And this is definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. If the other courts don't end up going Middle Tennessee's way and there's some sort of reversal of fortune, this could be one that could prove crucial to the game, but we will see how that plays out.
Yeah, like I said, communication is key. It's one of those things where, whenever you're on the serve and your service line man is giving you, the direction, it could be pinky out, pinky down, thumb out, whatever, where that ball needs to be, because he knows where he wants to be on that return from the opponent. And having that communication, knowing each other's styles and strengths, you're able to take advantage of that. And like we just saw that with Modal and Komorowski.
They are certainly taking advantage of that as we head over to court 3 once again. As we've got Andre Horak and Shu Matsuoka in the midst of a deuce game. This to make it 5-1 Middle Tennessee. On serve is Shu Matsuoka. That one will fall just a bit to the left. Chance to close it here, though. And they are going to get it. A mistake from Austin Peay as Stoker played it deep and couldn't get it over. And that should lead to a 5-1 Blue Raider advantage. And they will take that as they get ready to defend this serve from the Governors. But the Blue Raiders continue to have success with these fantastic freshmen of Shu Matsuoka and Andre Horak. Definitely the kind of start they wanted. They're as fast as any race car at Daytona right now, trying to keep that going. Serve coming from the Governors. And a low ball delivered, 15-love Blue Raiders. And again, it's Shu Matsuoka. Perfect angle on that racket, and he can deliver that shot right over the net.
Yeah, it's just impressive because he's running back and forth on that baseline and kind of had an awkward angle. Had to go cross court there. Very low trajectory on that backhand, just getting it over the net. Stoker just could not do anything about it.
Second one coming for Stoker here. And another moon ball. Austin Peay has struggled with those today. Stoker having some issues with some of these returns. And Shu Matsuoka and Andre Horak find themselves in the catbird seat, a 30-love lead. And they've got an opportunity here to close it out with 2 more strikes. Blue Raiders inching closer and closer to a potential doubles point, and just the kind of quick start that they were looking for. Can the Governors do anything to respond? First serve will fall wide. Stoker with number 2 on the way. And he double faulted, a crucial error that time. And that is a coach's nightmare, Ryan.
Well, it's probably also a player's nightmare more than anything, because you start to overthink and overanalyze your selection of serve styles, and you just don't want to have that mentality of I just can't get over the net all of a sudden.
Definitely don't want to shake your own confidence.
That one was a better serve there.
That was a fantastic serve, and Andre, I think, anticipated it a little too much and kind of just watched it go out of bounds. A little too much mustard on it, and he'll get another chance, though. 40-15, and this time it'll be Matsuoka getting ready for the return. And again, a mistake. Too straight from Andre Horak. It was too far last time and too short this time. 40-30, and Austin Peay staying in it. And sometimes all you need is that little bit of hope in your heart to maybe get some momentum going. But can the Governors do anything with it? Missed that first serve. Don't want another double fault here. And a nice return that time. Naguara again with a beautiful shot right up against the net. He is playing that close, and he continues to dunk on that net over and over again. Nicely done.
Yeah, it's great placement there, kind of at Shu's ankles, and he was trying to just whip at it with his right hand there, and he just kind of missed it, but that came at him pretty hard. It was going to be hard to make contact and let alone even get over the net for at least a clean return.
Deuce situation now upcoming. First serve will fall wide. Horak back to return.
And that was long there, Dylan.
Oh, man. A mistake again. Stoker with two crucial double faults late in the going, and that will do it over on court number 3. So the Blue Raiders are going to take their first doubles match, and they've got an opportunity. They just need one more to clinch the doubles point against the Governors. And not the way Austin Peay wanted to end it, but they showed some fight late. And Middle Tennessee, though, really with the execution and the great job of closing it out, even when things were starting to go against them and the tables were starting to turn, they found a way.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to break 3 of Austin Peay's serves there. I mean, that was a crucial part, right? Holding 3 of their own, but then also breaking up Austin Peay's right there. Yeah, unfortunately, you just don't like to see a game end on a double fault like we just did. But yeah, so great way to start this late afternoon matchup, and get closer and closer to that doubles point as well.
We're now going to go split screen between courts 1 and 2. On your left, you see Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Marcel Kamrowski. On your right, you've got Pavel Model and Baran Soiler. 3-3 game over on your right. Very competitive matchup. Different story on your left. 5-2 Middle Tennessee on top. Just a few shots away from getting the Blue Raiders the much-coveted doubles point. We'll see if Schwab and Minami have anything left. And as you've mentioned before, as we'll watch this one on the right play out. And he goes right out of bounds. Nice side swiping motion by Pavel Model. Just get out of the way and let the ball fly into the back.
Kind of semi-matrix-like gymnastics, acrobatics action there just to avoid that fastball coming right at him and letting it slide past the baseline.
I was thinking the same thing as they head over to the changeover station. Looked like something from the Matrix as we see the play resume on the left.
Great smash hit there, timed it perfectly.
Beautiful smash hit that time, as you mentioned, by Schwab and Minami. And that will keep the game ever closer. 15-love, the current score. Middle Tennessee is on serve. And we'll see what the Governors decide to do. Nope, they are not on serve. Apologies, that is a play site error. Serve instead coming up for the Governors. And that one will just fall out, and it's those mistakes up close that Austin Peay's got to be careful of. It's cost them a few points on different courts, and it comes back to bite them again. 15 all Blue Raiders. Meanwhile, on your right, play getting ready to resume. First one will fall wide, as that is Baran Soiler.
Great serve there from Soiler, forcing what looked like Beckus to pull that one a little wide down the alley.
Looked like that was the case. Meanwhile, on your left, it's still 15-all for the moment as the first serve misses for Schwab. And serve 2 coming up. And that one will fall to the outside. I think a bit of a rogue hit that time from, I believe that was Oscar Brostrom-Polson. Hard to tell, but whoever was deep kind of misjudged it just a little bit and got the moon ball out of it. A little too much power on it. Meanwhile, on your right, getting ready for the next serve. And again, it falls right into the net as Austin Peay could not match the power that Pavel Model delivered. And that one's going to fall to the outside, so that should make it 30-all Middle Tennessee on the left. Brostrom-Polson and Kamrowski drawing ever closer. Oh, no, not today, my friend. That's what Pavel Model and Baran Soiler just did. How about that? The closer and the Turkish technician strike right up against the net, Ryan.
Yeah, Soiler did a great job. His reaction timing was no joke. I mean, 2 back-to-back within a second at most of each other. Fortunate enough, that second one was the smash hit of all smash hits right there.
Certainly was, as the first serve will go awry for the Governors. Now 5-3 Middle Tennessee. Meanwhile, on your left, you see a break point about to happen.
And this is what Shab and Manami need right now. Getting any breaks they can.
Got to take these opportunities when they come to you. They are vital and they are few. That first serve will miss. Sometimes the course of a game can be determined by just one play, and we'll see almost a synchronized serve here. And whoa, man, the placement of that one was just insane. I believe that was Baran. Nicely done. And almost the exact same play on your left, except this time, I don't believe it worked out for Middle Tennessee as Marcel just couldn't angle it in.
Yeah, he kind of wound up a little too early there and was just early on his release and, yeah, just not getting it to get in the alley down there on the right side, his left.
Meanwhile, a mistake from Austin Peay on your right, a double fault and a crucial one at that. Trying to stay with it with Pavel and Baran, but that is not what they needed to happen, as that will give Middle Tennessee a bigger lead. And that will be a moon ball that goes out of bounds and make it 30-love Middle Tennessee on your left. And the Blue Raiders continue with their hot streak, this time on the right. The ball flies straight into the net, and the Blue Raiders continue to add to their lead.
Soiler there, a little low on his return in front of the service line. Couldn't get quite over the net. So 30-15 now.
30-15 for the Blue Raiders. And Austin Peay's going to take another one right up against the net. And the clock may be ticking down on the Governors here in the doubles round. Oh, what a smoker that was. Oscar Brostrom-Polson showing why he's number 91 in the ITA singles and number 23 in the ITA doubles rankings. That was hot like a lava flow in Hawaii. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, he just took advantage of the wide splits there that Shab and Manami had. And I'm sure Kamrowski told Brostrom-Polson that, yeah, just send that one right down the midline. No one is going to be able to stop it. And that leads to a victory now.
It does. That'll do it. Middle Tennessee picks up a 6-3 victory over on court number 1. And the Blue Raiders will get their first doubles point of the evening, their first point overall as well, to take a 1-0 lead against Austin Peay. Ryan, what impressed you the most about Middle Tennessee during that doubles match?
You know, just the consistency in, breaking up serves, right? I mean, we probably saw on both courts, 1 and 3.
Yes.
7 broken serves there.
Looked like it.
So, I mean, that just the ability to break Austin Peay's serves and then hold their own, couldn't have done it in a quicker time. I mean, that's really what it is about.
Quick, efficient, and getting to the point. That's what Middle Tennessee is all about, especially when it comes to the doubles round, and that's exactly what they just did. But don't go anywhere because we're going to be right back quick as well with singles action coming to you live from the Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex. Do not go anywhere here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV. We'll be right back.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
Because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside of sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together,
we will continue the conversation.
we have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance." Happy 50th anniversary, Title IX. Thank you for giving little girls like me and big kids like Conference USA student athletes the opportunity to dream big.
Welcome back inside the Cathedral of Tennis, live in Murfreesboro. Dylan Simmons joined by Ryan Martinelich, getting ready to bring you singles action here as number 21 Middle Tennessee is in the midst of taking on the Austin Peay Governors here live. And we will see the singles action commence shortly, but Middle Tennessee had a pretty good start to doubles, picked up the doubles point, and now, Ryan, it's all about maintaining that momentum.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing Coach Borndame put out all the freshmen, all right, giving Francisco Rocha a break. We're still seeing slump here, Stein slump, and the one spot, but, Oscar Brosham-Polsom up at 2, Andre Horek at 3, Baran Soiler at 4, Marcel Komorowski at 5, and Shu Matsuoka at 6.
And they will be taking on, Stein will be taking on Giovanni Beckus. And we'll see Oscar Brosham-Polsom take on Sola Minami. And on court 3, Andre Horak will be taking on Anaya Schwab. Court 4, we will see Tom Bolton take on Baran Soiler. On court 5, we'll see Marcel Komorowski take on Javier Torida. And on court 6, we'll have Shu Matsuoka take on Body Even Galen. And that is your top 6 for the singles. Serve coming up here from Giovanni. And Stein delivers a statement with a beautiful shot right down the middle, and nothing that Beckus could do about that one.
Yeah, he set that one up really nicely there. A couple of, slap shot spinners right there, and then came back with that hard-hitting front hand of his.
Stein slump, of course, currently ranked as number 80 in the ITA singles rankings. That number will likely change after this past weekend. We'll see in what direction. Lost to Oklahoma State, but picked up a big win over SMU, and some really good competition there. Definitely going to be an interesting Wednesday when the next ITA rankings drop for these Blue Raiders as they continue their march as they look to, in their own words, grind for 16. And what a play that was by Stein Slump. He can go outside, inside, and push it down the middle, and that's exactly what he did to give Middle Tennessee a 30-0 lead over on court number 1. Beautiful stuff from Stein Slump, and he continues to prove why he is perhaps the number 1 player at Middle Tennessee when it comes to singles.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He just has a great style about him. He knows what his game relies heavily on, and he's able to take advantage of Beckus there, putting him in awkward positions with, once again, kind of that nice little backhand of his.
Stein awaiting the next serve from Beckus, trying to go up a break. Ooh, and he was trying for a bit of a trick shot that time. If you want an equivalent to another sport, almost like a Euro step kind of shot, just couldn't get the formation to work out the way he wanted. And it goes 30-15 Austin Peay. But although Stein maybe feels a little bit less pressure in this one, that doesn't mean he still doesn't want to perform at a high level.
I think when it comes to any form of competition, it's not about the amount of pressure, because there's always pressure to compete. Any kind of competitive sport, you still want to give it your all, no matter what the stakes are. So any chance you can go out and get a win is what the mindset should be. It shouldn't be about low pressure stakes, high pressure stakes. It's all about winning stakes.
Stein Slump knows a thing or two about winning, as it's now 30-all as he put that one out of bounds. And Beckus maintaining some form here. Not going to make it easy for Stein Slump to get this first break. Beckus now getting ready for the next serve.
Yeah, Beckus just has to hold his own serve and, of course, get a couple opportunities in breaking up slumps as well. That's what the key is for court 1 if Austin Peay wants to win this one.
Stein Slump loves to get off to quick starts and make the other team work very quickly with whoever he's facing. As he just did right there. Look at the velocity that he hit that one off with. He cranked that up to 11. Beautiful job. And that will allow him to take the first match over on court number 1. So a 1-0 lead for Stein Slump. And he continues to deliver like the mailman. And a very nice job it was. And we'll see if he can keep that going as this game progresses forward. But a beautiful job by Stein there, Ryan.
Yeah, like I said, didn't really look any ease, putting balls where he wants them, especially right around that baseline, forcing Beckus to really kind of be indecisive about where he wants to take his next step.
Going over to court number 4 now. We see Baran Soiler, and he is taking on Schwab, the Turkish technician, looking to show his prowess on the court. He's got the backwards hat Stein slump look today. And he just made a Stein slump style shot right there. Beautiful job. And he's going to extend his lead, already up 1-0. Baran looking for another singles victory. Already netted one earlier this year. As that one will fall out of bounds. That singles victory was against Alabama A&M. Wants to go 2-0. Serve going to be coming here right from the center line almost. Right down the alley. Looks like that one was just a bit wide, but he almost had the placement, and those are the kind of shots that he's only going to get better at as his age continues, Ryan.
Yeah, and, he's taking advantage of his hard-hitting front hand right there, but I'd really like to see his work on some of those, backhanded, lob shots. I think that, getting some uneasiness in Schwab is what's really going to help this freshman play better on this court. Is just forcing his opponent to, second-guess himself, and if he just only relies heavily on that front hand, while it's effective, it helps to throw in a little mystery on your next shot.
Baran trying to throw in that mystery as he watches that ball go out of play. When you look at the singles lineup for Middle Tennessee today, a lot of youth in this group. You've got Oscar Brostrom-Polson, a sophomore. He's playing at number 2 today. Andre Horak, Baran Soiler, Marcel Kamrowski, and Shu Matsuoka. 5 of the 6 on these singles lineups are either sophomores or freshmen. So a lot of youth, and they're showing out today. And these kinds of games are where you learn a lot more about your team's depth. And while you might think that you may never have to call upon them, one day that may very well be the case.
And that's just what it's about right now, just one day. Because we know that in the future, all these players are going to be the future of Middle Tennessee tennis. And so they have a lot to learn just in this first year here with Coach Borendame and Coach C. So just allowing them to have these opportunities, these moments to prepare themselves for the next year and the year after that, all makes the difference.
Next serve coming up here for Baran. That one will fall straight into the net. What a slice that was.
There's the backhand.
There's that backhand, just like you were talking about. That's becoming his signature move, and he just did it again, and Schwab is left stunned. And he's going to head over to the changeover area, and Baran Soiler will take a 3-0 lead, I do believe. And he is definitely having his way thus far, as we will be heading over to court number 2 next to see what's going on for the latest with Oscar Brostrom-Polson, number 91 in the ITA singles rankings. But Baran really showing out, Ryan.
Yeah, like I said, these are the opportunities that allow you, at Coach Borendame, to see where his players stand. And once again, as a freshman here, seeing where you stand against some of the better players around the state, around your conference, and, of course, overall nationally. So, once again, showing out, very talented freshman, like you said, from Turkey. Going to have plenty more opportunities to come and just learn from these moments and learn from these experiences down the road.
Have to agree with that one as Minami gets ready for his next serve. And that one will go straight into the net. Nothing doing that time. And that should give Oscar Brostrom-Polson a 15-0 lead. And he continues to build upon what he started earlier today. It's been a busy weekend for the Raiders. Played the Oklahoma State match, of course, on Friday. Already played SMU today. And now taking on Austin Peay.
And this is where your trainers are especially helpful, and of course all that time you put in the off season to work on your body, work on your stamina. 3 games in 72 hours can do a lot, especially when you're doing it week in, week out. A lot of weekends coming up. Of course, the Blue Grade tournament here in Montgomery, Alabama, coming up in a week. You got to be prepared for that. So, just a lot of effort you got to put off the court. Comes to diet and nutrition and just physical attributes.
And this Blue Raiders team emphasizes that in many respects. Coach Jimmy once told us a story about how he makes his players run a 5-minute mile.
That's easy, so easy. It's nothing to it.
Cakewalk indeed. When it comes to these guys, it's a walk in the park, as that one will go straight into the net. And we'll see the next serve coming up here from Minami. One of the first in-state matches that Middle Tennessee has had this year. Austin Peay, of course, residing in Clarksville. So perhaps a bit of territorial struggle here. And that one will go straight out. Man, Oscar Brostrom-Polson, he makes it look so easy. But trust me, folks, that is not an easy shot to deliver.
Yeah, just a sophomore like we talked about, but looking as ever like a senior or even one of those pros on the tour now.
It's incredible the rise that he has had in such a short amount of time since he got to Middle Tennessee just last year. Proved himself as a freshman, and when you earn somebody like Coach Jimmy's trust, you're definitely in good standing as he'll take a 3-0 lead over Minami in his first set. Seemingly well on his way to clinching yet another victory here at home and improving his singles record and potentially his singles rank. Currently ranked number 91. And we will get more action here in just a moment as they head towards the changeover station. But for right now, we will head off to go check on some other action on other courts. And we will be heading over to check out the latest over on court number 5 to see how Middle Tennessee's going. But again, Oscar Brostrom-Polson really lighting up the charts today, Ryan.
Yeah, and he's going against a very talented freshman in Minami, who actually was a 2-time high school tournament champion over in Japan. So very impressive young man, and he'll have a bright future, Austin Peay. But yeah, right now in the hands of Oscar Brostrom-Polson.
Torta Jada and Marcel Kamrowski currently facing off. And Marcel get ready for his next serve as Tortajeda awaits. And that one was close, I believe. We'll see what the ruling is from Austin Peay, but I believe that one was just snuck in. We'll get the official ruling momentarily. Speaking of scoreboards, as we talk about the play site scoreboard, there was a little bit of scoreboard surgery. The scoreboard was not working properly for most of the MTSU SMU match, so we had a guy come out here. He got on a ladder, and he started going to work on this scoreboard, and he was able to get the job done and get the scoreboard lit up again. So it's guys like that that are true heroes of the court sometimes, as we'll see that one go in.
Unsung, if you will.
Definitely. But a true hero nonetheless. And talk about scoreboard malfunctions, but in a year's time there probably won't be as many of those, as of course Middle Tennessee is going to move into perhaps the new Cathedral of Tennis, or perhaps you could call it the house that Coach Jimmy built. New fantastic facility that the Blue Raiders will hopefully make a lot of more memories coming up over whenever they move over in 2024. Going to be right next to the Glass House, the Murphy Center. Should be a fantastic site for tennis. As Marcel will get ready for his next serve. Also allows the tennis team to be on campus. Should make it a lot more accessible for students. First serve goes wide for Marcel Kamrowski. And he'll get ready for serve number 2.
Well, not just for the students, but also for the players as well, because then they're right by the athletic dorm, so they can pretty much just walk over there without having to deal with all this traffic out here in Murfreesboro.
There is a lot of traffic in Murfreesboro, especially on weekdays when you're getting off of that work shift. That will certainly help a lot of people out in many, many ways. Marcel now from the left side. This one will fall just a bit to the outside. Serve number 2 coming up. That one just a bit to the outside, and Tortajada gets a bit of a fortunate break. A moon ball from Kamrowski doesn't find the mark, and it'll slide back from the back line. Marcel struggling a little bit in this matchup.
Well, you know, it's funny. That last shot before the moon ball past the baseline, it kind of looked like he tried to do some trick shot, but at the same time just was very, I don't know, very, I don't want to say soft about it, but just his mannerisms were like, this is too easy. Like he just kind of thought the match was over at that point, or that point was already scored, and he kind of let that one slip out away.
Never count your eggs before they're hatched, and that's a lesson that all tennis players learn in time. I'm sure Marcel won't make that same mistake twice. Coming back from the left now. This one a little bit too far out. Serve number 2. That one to the outside. Marcel Kamrowski with some beautiful shots. Popping it like Orville Redbacher's over there. And he's going to potentially make it a 2-2 game if he keeps up this kind of momentum.
Popping it like Orville Redenbacher.
Some good popcorn. Fantastic popcorn.
Just trying to correlate that to tennis. Fascinating.
Well, Marcel can certainly pop some shots. Trying to pop a serve right here. Also trying to get it back to 2-2. You saw the call out by Tortajada as Marcel pushed it a little bit too far that time.
And it just could not quite get enough spin on that one to just grab that baseline.
And a lot of times spin can determine where a ball ends up, especially when it comes to that back line. As you mentioned, if you don't put just enough spin on the ball, sometimes it can end up going farther out than you like. And it's a bit of a risky proposition, but players usually go for it, and Marcel unable to get that one to go in successfully. This one will fall to the outside, and that should result in a score for Kamrowski. Marcel will head back over to the left side as Tortajada gets ready for his next serve. This one will fall straight into the net. Of course, Austin Peay 1-2 record thus far this season, and he will wait to serve that one. One win coming over Oakland City. And this time it's Tortajada who makes a mistake as he tried to slice it towards the net, and he couldn't get it over. And Marcel's going to benefit.
Yeah. Dylan, you mentioned they're 1-2. Of course, they haven't played in 16 days.
Yes.
You know, since they were down, or I shouldn't say down, but up in St. Louis. And they fell to the Billikens.
The Billikens. As he'll miss out on that serve. Also suffered a sweep at the hands of the Belmont Bruins a few weeks back.
Yeah.
That's the 2 blemishes on their record as of now. Oh, my goodness. He broke Tortajada's ankles almost, at least got him off balance, and Marcel Kamrowski shifting it back and forth and making shots.
Yeah, that was one where Tortajada kind of just tilted his hand a little bit. He was already kind of coming back towards the midline, expecting Kamrowski to hit that backhand cross court. And instead, he just kind of let his hips turn a little late, forcing a little more open shot. Got that one right side there on the court.
See Coach Jimmy also over there cheering on Marcel, watching him very intently. He's been courtside for a lot of Marcel's games and obviously has high hopes for him as the years continue to go by. He's looking to him for being a crucial part of the team. And we will go over to the next court as they head over to the court to the changeover station. We'll head over to court number 3 for our next bit of singles action here. But Marcel Kamrowski having some success, and he's continuing to prove more and more why he's improving.
Yeah, once again, given the opportunities to get back into shape, once again, falling earlier today in straight sets, and just being able to kind of find himself again, stay within himself, and not let the mistakes kind of grow on him. Just let Kamrowski know that Coach Borendame has got his back, and he'll always rely heavily on him, especially because he will be one of the futures of this team.
The usual home of Oscar Brostrom-Polson, now the home of Andre Horak. As Horak will miss that first serve. Serve number 2 coming up as we just hit the 5 o'clock hour. Oh, man, that one had some speed on it. Gotta love the aggressiveness from Andre Horak on that return. Horak continues to impress with his blazing speed and blazing shots. This one will fall into the net. Andre's going to add some more to his point total. Already up 4-1 over on court 3.
Yeah, another talented freshman in Andre Horak. Of course, changing it from court 4 to 3 now, kind of a bit of an upgrade.
And you want to talk about a guy who has been completely unstoppable. He's been 10-0, as we've mentioned prior, in singles matches this season. He wants to make it 11-0 with a win today. And a bit of an awkward bounce that time. We'll see who it ends up on. We had a bit of a tough angle that time, but it looks like that might have been a score for Andre.
Nah, I think that one they're going to call on Schaub. It hit the net, and it was teed up perfectly for Schaub on a return. And instead of kind of going at Andre, because Andre had already moved over to the left side of the net, he squirted one right inside the alley and base corner, as Horak had nowhere to go after it. So that one should be a point for Aeneas Schwab.
We will see as this game progresses forward. Don't have any
there on the serve.
Yeah, I don't have any point totals on play side at the moment as Andre awaits his next serve. This one will go a little bit wide. Tried for that nice backhand, and he's been able to deliver some successful ones before, just not that time. And that's going to make it a new score and potentially a lead here for Austin Peay. This one will fall to the outside. Serve coming up here from Schwab. And this one will head to the outside. And it looks like Marcel will add to his point total. Or excuse me, Andre. Andre Horak continuing with his hot streak of momentum. He'll send it back over to Schwab. And he continues to look to make deposits into the bank and make some money over there on court number 3. Trying to maintain the 4-1 lead that he has built up. Next serve coming up from Schwab. This one falls straight into the net. So Schwab will add to his point total. Andre with a little bit of an odd angle that time. And angling the ball in the racket a certain way can prove so crucial in these situations. This one a bit too far. Schwab gets ready for serve 2. And he double faults. So a mistake from Schwab, and Andre comes up, and I don't know if it was just me, Ryan, almost looked like he was limping a little bit. And you see him working that left leg. Hopefully nothing too serious going on there.
Could be a minor cramp. Could be just a slightly twisted ankle, nothing serious. But he also has just that kind of walk anyway that it looks like he's a little off balance, a little lopsided. So it also could just be nothing. It just could be the way he's marching around the court.
That is true, as that one will fall to the outside. While we have a moment, do want to congratulate the Middle Tennessee women's tennis team. Went on the road and picked up a nice victory over Lipscomb today, 4-3. So women's tennis gets their 7th win in a row, and they're moving to 7-2. What a great season they're off to so far.
Yeah, Coach Teo Bailey-Duval doing a great job with her players. And, of course, Sana Garakani actually had the clinching point. So that freshman is doing wonders for that team as well. All-around great effort from the Lady Raiders in Nashville.
Freshmen are making a difference in all aspects of Middle Tennessee tennis, whether it be men's or women's. And here's a guy who continues and knows a thing or two about making a difference. That's Andre Horak, as he'll head over to the changeover station. And that should bring it to 5-2, I do believe. We'll get the official report on that in just a moment. Run as a singles player thus far. Middle Tennessee having a lot of success early on here in these singles matchups. And it looks like they've even taken a set over on court number 4, as it appears that Baron Soiler has netted himself a win, so nicely done by him. And he'll have a chance to make it set number 2 in just a moment and give Middle Tennessee their 2nd singles point of the afternoon.
And right now, of course, Oscar Broschen-Polson also working on a potential set win here, as he's up 5-1 right now on court 2.
Looking to get a first set victory for himself as well. Middle Tennessee proving dominant thus far in most of these games, having their way with the Governors. Austin Peay trying to avoid a 1-3 start to the season. And as we mentioned, they hadn't played in a number of days before this one against Middle Tennessee. Only their 4th game of the year. Meanwhile, this is the Raiders' 12th game of the year thus far, actually 13th. They're trying to get to 10-3 thus far today. Just had their 12th, of course, against SMU earlier this afternoon. And you see the workout routine coming here from Andre. See him working that knee just a little bit, trying to make sure that he gets it back in fighting form. Last thing you don't want to do is cramp up in these situations or perhaps give yourself something worse than what it already is. But you got to imagine already after having the game against SMU earlier today and the game against Oklahoma State that went over 4 hours on Friday night, even with our fantastic training staff here at the Adams Tennis Complex, you got to know he's feeling it.
Yeah, and I wonder, kind of also in that camera shot, we really don't see Ania Schwab, so I wonder, or the ITA official for that matter. So I do wonder, here he comes back into screen, so he must have been talking it over with one of his coaches or even the trainers, as he might have been feeling a little something, as he also kind of came back with a towel. So I'm not sure what's going on there on court 3, but clearly both players needing the trainer's assistance. So.
Yeah, we'll hope everybody is okay, and we'll keep an eye on what the situation is developing over on court number 3. Meanwhile, we're going to head over to court number 1 for Stein, Slump, and Beckus. Currently a 4-3 game over there. Beckus has been able to hang with Stein Slump pretty well thus far, taking it to him even the slightest bit. Not easy to do against the number 80 player in the ITA singles rankings.
Well, Giovanni Beckus, he's a talented player from Italy. And he usually has been consistently playing top players.
Yes.
On court one for his 2 years here at Austin Peay. So not unfamiliar with the territory.
Right.
He also has won numerous singles matches in his freshman year. So off to a sluggish start here early in his second season, but has plenty of talent to back it up to be on court number one and face off in a player like Stein Slump.
Beckus also a former OVC Doubles Team of the Week recipient. One half of that Doubles Team of the Week. And the other half was, of course, Tom Bolton. Those two had fantastic chemistry, and this team with head coach Ross Brown actually won the OVC championship in his first year there, so they have had some success. Of course, moving to a new conference also brings its new challenges, and we'll see how Austin Peay handles those in the future as Slump sends that one straight into the net. And a couple more updates while we got the opportunity. On court 2, Middle Tennessee takes the first set win with Oscar Brostrom-Polson, and on court 4, 6-1, as again, Baron Soiler gets the win, up 1-0 in his second set. And Stein doing it again. Perfect volley that time. Waited on it, and finally Beckus hit it a little bit too hard. It's almost like taking the bait if you're a fish, and he ended up getting hooked.
Well, in that instance, unfortunately, Beckus was the loser on that particular point, but Slump was not careful enough because Beckus, all he had to do was just keep that one down a hair longer, and Slump wasn't going to be able to catch up to it. So kind of went both ways, but absolutely another great point for Stein Slump there.
Next serve from Slump. And a beautiful spike by Stein Slump. And I love the way that he moved up that time, Ryan. He anticipated the shot perfectly, knew what was coming, and moved up in time to make it work for him.
Well, that's just experience right there, being around here for so long and in this environment for so long, and knowing that on any particular shot, especially when you send it long like that, and your opponent's going to probably have to force lob it over the net to be there right in front of the service line for that easy spike cross court.
Oh, that was an absolute bullet delivered by Stein Slump. A lot of speed on that one, and he can absolutely level the boom with some of these shots as he just did.
And that's actually another game point for him, so he's going to move up 5-3 after holding his serve there. So now the opportunity to break Beckus's serve and take a set victory here.
Middle Tennessee continues to inch closer to a potential victory here against the Governors. That one will go straight into the net. Second serve coming up here for Beckus. Ooh, that backhand just didn't pay off that time. Couldn't quite get the shot in. We've seen a couple of those from Stein here tonight, Ryan, and has had issues sinking a couple of those.
Well, it's just timing. It's one of those things where you're at an awkward position, and you're also trying to make it even more awkward for your opponent. So you try to keep that inside that service and alley line corner there, and it's just he just kind of closed it down a little too quickly. But he'll get it next time.
He certainly learns a lot from his mistakes. As he just did right there. Nicely done. Kind of delivered a high ball to start out, but worked it lower and lower as the volley went on, and then delivered the perfect strike at the end. And Beckus now very close to dropping this set and giving Stein Slump his much-earned first set victory. Oh, man. What an absolute dime there in the corner. Stein slump, beautifully done. Charged it up like a MacBook on red that time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Beckus just kind of drifted a little too far away from that midline, and Slump looking like he was about to pull one towards that corner, sent an open shot right to the backside, keeping a well-placed ball. Beckus moving in the opposite direction. Well done.
Ooh, and a little bit of whiplash that time. Tried to get it in the corner, couldn't get it to stick. And Stein Slump will wipe some perspiration off of his face and off of the racket. Get ready for his next return. Beckus trying everything he knows to hang with Stein Slump. Serve coming from about the halfway point, nearly between the box and center line. This one will go just a bit wide. Serve 2 coming up for Beckus. And again, he continues to crank up the speed. Went from 0 to 100 real quick. Beautifully done by Stein Slump that time, Ryan.
Yeah, once again, another instance where, Beckus at this point just very unsure where Slump's going to return it to, and kind of got on a jump step there, going right. Slump sent it left. So just working out in Slump's favor right now with his trickeration, if you will.
And it didn't work out that time. Stein continued to work that left side of Beckus. Kept trying and trying and trying, but Beckus kept on returning, and he just couldn't get it to stick that time. So we'll get back to court 1 action momentarily, but Stein Slump and Beckus in a bit of a battle right now.
Yeah, and on that last point right there, he's working back to that backhand, and I think if he had gotten it over, his next shot was going to be across the court there on that right side of the alley where Beckus was not going to be able to return it. So just a little unfortunate for Slump that one did not get over the net. Fortunate for Beckus to kind of keep staying in this game point.
And we're going to go split screen for the first time in these singles matches. Stein Slump on your left, Marcel Kamrowski on your right, both closing in on first set victories. Trying to do what 3 other Raiders have already done in this singles matchup. That serve will go wide for Beckus. Stein Slump and Beckus, of course, and Marcel Kamrowski and Tortajada. Both closing in. Do have an update on court 6. Shu Matsuoka did drop the first set 4-6, but is up 1-0 in the second set right now.
And that's another freshman he's going against in Bodie Van Galen. The 2 international players right now, Matsuoka and Van Galen. Van Galen from the Netherlands.
As we see play stop momentarily, both players in the changeover station over on court number 4 with Marcel Kamrowski and Tortajada. Same story over on court 1, Stein Slump and Beckus. And it looks as though Stein Slump was able to almost pick up the victory. Not quite over yet. It is 5-4 now. Play site telling us a bit wrong right now. Set 1 is not over. Serve coming up from Marcel on your right. That first one will fall wide. We'll get back to more singles action momentarily, but again, Marcel Kamrowski and Stein Slump closing in and continuing a lot of what Middle Tennessee has been building with these singles matches thus far against Austin Peay.
Yeah, a very young team in Austin Peay, like we mentioned. There's really only one senior playing right now for them. Everyone else is freshman or sophomore. And there's a lot of experience on this team for MTSU, despite the fact that they also are 4 freshmen playing right now and a sophomore as well. But a lot of these guys, I've mentioned 12 games. This is their 13th,
yes.
So a lot more opportunities to have played compared to the Governors right now.
Back solely on court number 4 now, Marcel Kamrowski and Tortajada. And here comes the boom. What a shot by Marcel Kamrowski. Beautifully done right in the left quarter, and the anticipation was flawless. And that will inch Marcel Kamrowski closer to a first set victory. And Tortajada trying to do everything he can to combat this. Next serve coming up from Marcel. And Marcel continues to deliver. Nicely done once again. Watches it go into the corner and out of bounds. But while we got a game break, let's go. Oh, nope. My apologies there. Had a bit of a miscommunication on our end. Apologize for that. Marcel sending it back. And this one will fall straight into the net. So Marcel's going to add another point to his total. Kamrowski heads back towards the back line. Score still 5-4 over here on court number 4. And now Marcel's going to head over to the changeover station for the moment, as both players will get some more oxygen in their lungs, but he does pick up the set victory, 6-4. Marcel Kamrowski with some beautiful returns there, and he's got an opportunity with one more set victory to give Middle Tennessee a singles point. Great job by him, but now while we got a moment, let's send it over to the man himself, Grant Langston. Grant, what do you have for us?
Well, fellas, over on court 3 and 4, Andre Harak and Baran Soler have left identical imprints on the scoreboard. Both cruised through the first set, winning 6-1, and are currently up a break and up 3-0. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Grant. So some big news over there for Middle Tennessee, getting some more victories. And again, these freshmen continue to show out. The youth really coming in strong for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, especially once again, Horak is very expected at this point because he's 10-0. Expect hopefully to go to 11-0 right now here. And Baran Soler having the opportunity. This is second singles match to also stay undefeated for the time being. As he's trying to race out there to that straight set victory. But yeah, once again, very talented, a lot of experience, as we've said, because it's their 13th match of the season. So yeah, just plenty of opportunities to grow and learn and continue this progress.
They're looking to continue that progress as the season moves forward. As you mentioned, we're going to head over to court number 2 now, as Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Minami in the middle of their second set. Minami with a 2-0 lead, so he's found some momentum against Oscar Brostrom-Polson, who really frustrated him in the first set, but Oscar has found a little bit of an issue. Serve coming up here in a 30-all game. And he delivers an absolute dime into the corner. Make it 40-30, Oscar Brostrom-Polson. If I'm even, I'm leaving, and that's what he just did with that serve. Oscar Brostrom-Polson with some beautiful shots. And Minami will get ready for his next return. And again, a beautiful shot from Oscar Brostrom-Polson. How about the serving and the touch that he has? And that has got to make Coach Jimmy smile. He'll head over to the changeover station, now down just 2-1. And puts Minami on a little bit more of the ropes.
Yeah, able to hold serve right there. And once again, take another game. Very important, especially if you want to hold this second set and get another point for your team.
And it looks like he's trying to do just that. But we're going to head over now to court number 3 for some more action, as Andre Horak in the midst of his match, trying to continue to do what he's done all year long, and that is win when it matters.
Yeah, once again, another thing we've mentioned time in, time out. Don't know why I have to keep saying it, but yeah, very talented freshman, undefeated right now. So just trying to keep that streak alive, and I'm sure get closer and closer to an MTSU record that we got to dig through the archives to find.
Certainly could be in that record territory. Might have to get Coach Jimmy on that. Get into those archives. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, I'm sure. Such a storied history for this Middle Tennessee men's tennis team, as Andre Horak holds a 3-0 lead. Trying to keep up that momentum against Schwab. Horak now will head over to the changeover station after that serve. Beautiful stuff right there, and he continues with that awesome serving technique. And serving is so important, Ryan, especially when you're talking about setting up a play. Andre Horak has that in many respects. And really, he sets the tone as we did have a bit of a scoreboard error there for a moment. It was 3-0, but it is actually 5-0. That's why they're in the changeover station. So Andre Horak is very close to adding to his singles record, looking to get to that elusive 11-0.
Yeah, just going back to that serve ideology that you mentioned, how do you go about playing the serves, right? And of course, it varies being doubles versus singles. But in this instance, once again, playing your opponent, how wide does he set out? You're trying to squeeze one into that midline, keep it inside, of course, the service line, very difficult. Just play it straight, kind of set it between the alley and the midline, or you just go straight at the alley. Force your player to go back on a backhand and then try to squeeze one out to the other side of the court with a little cross-court action. It just varies time to time, strategy, how your players play certain shots. But someone like Andre, just keep it simple. Just make sure it stays in because he's got such a great return game as it is. He's no need to get fancy. And right now, just play it safe. Play to win still. But just don't get too creative, if you will.
Andre knows all about getting the job done, and sometimes it's all about employing that KISS method of keeping it simple. Sometimes simple works, as this one will go straight into the net. And Andre will have to rebound from that. Down 15-love, but he is looking for that bagel, trying to cook it up on Schwab. Here's the windmill. That one will fall to the outside. And Andre will await serve 2. Oh, what a change of the court that. Sami Zayn losing to Roman Reigns was last night.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I'm not going to lie, Dylan. So whatever you just said, it just sounded like gibberish to me. So, but I'll take your word for it. You seem to be the WWE, WWF, AEW expert. So, yeah.
Yeah, for WWE fans, it was a disappointment. Tough night for him. Yeah, and next serve coming up here from Schwab. And a nice return that time. Maybe went a little bit too far to the outside. Next serve going to come up here from Schwab. Again, Horak looking for the bagel.
Gonna have to break up the serve here if he wants it.
Whoa, man, that one had some steam coming off of it. What a shot delivered by Schwab that time.
Yeah, once again, we talked about, service strategy, right? So Horak's sitting there wide on a splits there, kind of at that corner. And, it's something that Schwab needs right now if he wants to stay in it. So he'd send that one top left spin right down the midline, nowhere where Horak was going to say it.
We'll stick with this game for just a moment. That one will fall wide. Second serve coming up. This one goes too far. So again, Andre's so close to clinching this point, but not going to be able to do it quite yet. And he's going to have to instead take it from his own serve. So he's not going to get any bagels this time, but the breadstick is still on the table. Let's see if he can put it in the microwave.
Not a big fan of just sticking breadsticks in the microwave. I think eat them fresh, don't have to reheat them.
I've seen people kind of back and forth on that one. Some people like it better when you put it in the microwave. My mom does that quite a bit, but that's besides the point as we move back to the next serve. That one will fall to the outside. Serve coming up here from Andre. This will head to the outside, but in our own version of Fox Sports Game Break, we've got the man, Grant Langston. Grant, what do you got for us?
Well, boys, as I told you, Baron Soler cruising on court 4 earlier. He just wrapped up his match without letting Tom Bolton off the mat in the second set, 6-0. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Grant. So the Turkish technician defeating Troy Bolton's brother. I made that one up. As we see the next serve, and oh man, beautifully done by Marcel right up against the net that time, and that is gonna do it. So Andre Horak is gonna get a second set victory, and the point total is now up to 3 for the Blue Raiders as the freshmen continue to make their own statement and make waves for this team. But Andre Horak, some beautiful returns there, especially right up against the net late. But really what impressed me the most about Andre was his tenacity late and his ability to come out and just dominate.
Yeah, once again, very talented. We keep saying that. I don't know why I have to keep repeating it. But, yeah, you know, he was able to kind of hold his own serves, get a few breaks right there at the end. He's just playing balance. You know, he's not really rushing any shots. He's, you know, keeping it right inside those kind of nice little beautiful kind of slap shots that we've seen a lot of the Slump and Soler kind of produce, and just kind of keep his opponent on his feet. You know, and just kind of we've seen Bolton kind of just not Bolton. I'm sorry. Schwab,
yes.
Schwab. For some reason, I'm still on court 4 there from Grant's report. But, yeah, just Aeneas Schwab just kind of struggled there. Really never found his footing against Horak.
Back over to court 1 we go with Stein, Slump, and Beckus in the middle of their matchup. This one will fall to the outside, and that should result in another point scored for Stein Slump. And Stein going over to retrieve the isolated ball in the box, and he's going to hand it back over to Beckus. Stein Slump looking to prepare and continue the process that he has started since he got here to Middle Tennessee and Murfreesboro just a few years ago. And a bit of a late call. I believe that Stein called that one out. It was hard to tell. He was almost out of our frame when we last saw him. We'll get the official call potentially in a moment. But Stein Slump very much in position against Beckus. Took the 6-3 first set win, up 3-0 in the second set. As that one's going to fall to the outside. And that one kind of had disaster written over it. Not of Stein Slump's fault, but just the way he had to chase down that ball quickly, Ryan. Really not much he could do.
No. Very difficult with some of those shots. You know, just have to run after it and hope and pray and you can get into it in time. But, you know, it's one of those things where you just got to get over it and let the next point come at you.
But I think something that Coach Jimmy Borendame would appreciate was the effort that Stein had to retrieve that, even if there was little chance of it actually working. As that serve will fall wide. And Stein Slump will go back to get the ball. Blue Raiders need just one more set victory to clinch the win. And Stein Slump doing it again, shredding it like a guitar down there towards the back line. Stein Slump, beautiful job. And again, he continues to move his opponent many times at will. A lot of times opponents have to adjust to Stein's style in a hurry or he can overwhelm them.
Well, yeah, and once again, we saw that instance right there. You know, Slump is waiting until the very last second to make his move. So Beckus is expecting a pull shot across court. And you know, once again, Slump just opens his hips a little more and sends that one right down the right side of the court. Beckus already on the left side. No chance he can come back and return it.
And just as you were speaking of, you see Beckus trying to lunge at that one again. That one also had an awkward angle, and that's what Stein Slump seems to be so great at doing, is creating those awkward angles that his opponents just simply have no chance of returning, as that first serve will hit nothing but netting. Serve 2 on the way. Powering up the windmill. And a beautiful shot in the back corner. And Stein Slump continues the sheer domination of set number 2 against Beckus. drawing ever closer to giving Middle Tennessee a win on the day. Other players, however, doing the same. As we are checking some of the scores right now. And of course, as more updates spill in, we will get those to you. Stein Slump now getting ready for his next serve on the left side. First serve will be out of bounds. Here comes serve 2. And relentlessly, Stein Slump, he chased that one down in a hurry. Stein Slump getting through the rush hour traffic and immediately taking that ball to the cleaners. Nicely done that time, Ryan.
Yeah, it was a great serve there. Once again, Beckes had to go to his backhand, a little softer shot there. And, yeah, Slump timed it perfectly, like you said. He was expecting that exact return, was that little soft backhand. That was the only way Beckes was going to get over the net. So he rushed up there in time. Just a nice little slap shot. Cross court with the little spin. Perfectly done.
And recognition and vision like that doesn't come instantly, folks. That's built over years and years. But you also have to account for Stein's innate talent that he has, that natural talent that he keeps deep inside. It allows him to make plays like that. And when you add that combination with the skills that he's learned, not just here at Middle Tennessee, but in his time during his high school and formative years, it creates one heck of a player. As Stein Slump will get ready for what could be his final game of the evening. Looking to get that bagel in the second set. We will figure out the truth on that momentarily. And if Stein Slump can close out this final chapter against Austin Peay. And something that I think perhaps doesn't get talked about a lot is the fact that Stein and a lot of these other players like Francisco Rocha and Pavel Model, they had the choice to whether or not they wanted to come back this year. They ended up choosing to come back to Murfreesboro and run this back again, Ryan. They felt like they had unfinished business from last year, even after, despite the incredible season that they had, winning the third CUSA title, making the NCAA tournament. They have come out with something to prove, as Stein looking to do that again.
Well, having the benefit of that COVID year has affected a lot of athletes in different ways. And, yeah, certainly you could say they had unfinished business. I think they just love the environment. They love Coach Borendame. He's given them so much opportunities here in Murfreesboro that it was something that I think was no question that they were going to come back. And, making that choice, no matter how, it's always going to be difficult. But I think in the end, the opportunity to come back, win another Conference USA championship, and maybe even get far and wide in that NCAA tournament, bring back some hardware. They're primed to do it.
That's what they're looking to do. Speaking of hardware, as we've mentioned prior in the broadcast, they will be heading to the Blue-Gray Cup Championship this coming weekend. Big road test for them in Montgomery, Alabama against some of the nation's best teams, but they are the defending champions, and they want to add to that trophy case. We'll see if they can do it. We wish them the best of luck.
And they got a lot of opponents that are going to be in that they are going to be facing later on. Oklahoma and Texas Tech are two of the other 7 teams in the field, along with talented rosters like Arizona, I think Alabama as well.
Yes. Auburn, another team, and that's a team that Middle Tennessee beat last year here in the Cathedral of Tennis. A lot of history with Middle Tennessee with a lot of these teams, and that could go a long way in figuring out how they'll do as Beckes gets ready for his next serve.
And Tulane as well, actually, not to interrupt this point right here as that one goes sent into the net. But, yeah, so 3 of the other 7 teams in that Blue-Gray Cup are opponents that MTSU will be facing on the road this season.
Texas Tech, another team that Middle Tennessee will have on the road. So almost like a preview of the second half of the season if you are the Blue Raiders. And it's going to be quite an interesting watch down there in Montgomery.
Absolutely.
Serve 2 for Beckes. And Slump a little bit too much power. Wanted that back line. He wasn't going to get it that time, though. And that'll fall to the outside.
Yep, just a little pull there across his body. A little early, I should say late on that release. But even if he timed it just right, it still was probably going to be long based off of that ball's trajectory.
Stein now getting ready to serve from the right side. Score has been updated officially. It's now 5-1. No bagel again. as that one will fall out of bounds. Beautiful serve again by Stein. He serves those serves it up time and time again. Exceptional job by him, and he continues to serve up those cookies right into the box.
You talking Chips Ahoy, Oreo? What are you thinking there?
I'm talking homemade grandma cookies.
Oh,
the best kind of cookies. Can't beat those. And Stein Slump with serves that also you can't beat those. That one's going to fall to the outside, and you kind of see Beckus trying to argue his point to the ITA official. Not sure if he agreed completely with that call that time, Ryan.
Well, it's always tough, Human error is very common. We don't have the luxury of, replay monitors and, review opportunities, being able to see where exactly that ball hit on that line, say it's in or out. But it's just tough. It's them's the breaks. Everyone's human. Things are going to happen. Things aren't going to go your way. So can't let one call affect you. You just have to move on to the next.
Oh, that was a backhand of beauty by Stein Slump. Made Beckus lose his balance that time like he was at the slip and slide. And great job by Stein Slump. He is going to add to his lead. And he might have a chance very shortly to give Middle Tennessee their elusive 4th point and the win over Austin Peay.
I'm not sure how you can be off balance on a slip and slide. You're sliding down. You're never going to be unbalanced. So it's a very peculiar analogy, but I like the thought.
Well, speaking of guys taking care of business, Stein Slump does get the job done, and the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders officially have sealed it up against the Austin Peay Governors, up 4-0. Great job by Stein Slump. Again, getting the job done. He was a little bit despondent after that loss against Oklahoma State on Friday, but with the win over SMU today and now this win over Austin Peay, Stein Slump showing that he never truly left and he's ready to reassume the role of victor.
Yeah, and it's a great way to finish off the weekend, right? Back-to-back victories here in our doubleheader. Once again, first in the early going against SMU. So just a great way to, once again, recover from a tough Friday loss, like we said. First one at home for a while. First Friday night loss in who knows how long. But, yeah, just a great way to come out, get back on the right track, especially when you're about to be on the road for the next 4 weeks here with the Blue-Gray and 3 other away matches.
Right you are. Slump will take it to the bench and become a spectator, as all of us are, the rest of these matches still taking place. Looks as though the Raiders will play some of these out. We thought that might be the case in order to get some of these freshmen and other players more and more opportunities. Coach Jimmy could have made the decision not to end the game, but to end the game early, but he decided to keep letting the players play. And again, as we mentioned all night, that allows them more opportunities to learn and grow, and especially to take themselves to deep water and put themselves in high-pressure situations. In many ways, that's where you figure out whether or not your player is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, once again, we kind of talked about this all afternoon, is the experience, right? And we want to see how these players play. And like I said, it's not about the pressure situation. It's just about being able to just generate the experience and see where you are for the future. Because you might be called for that 5th or 6th court in the Blue-Gray, at Tulane, Memphis, Texas Tech, or Oklahoma. So you just got to have the opportunity to go out and just show Coach, this is why I'm here.
Well, you never know when your number is going to be called. Just ask guys like Brock Purdy, and they'll tell you that there's any opportunity, there's many moments that you might be called up from the bench, and you have to make that opportunity, and you have to make that score happen for your team. And these guys are learning that and growing, as I'm sure Coach Jimmy and Coach Callie love to see. Oscar Brostrom-Polson down 3-4 right now against Minami in the second set. Very impressed with Minami. He's been able to keep pace with a very good player in Oscar Brostrom-Polson, especially in Oscar Brostrom-Polson, who won in 2 sets earlier today against his SMU opponent. But Minami is not backing down by any means.
Well, for Brostrom-Polson here, played 2 doubles matches, and this is your second singles match. So pretty much playing 4 times in the span of 5 hours. It does put a lot on you, but that's why you prepare, build up your nutrition, your stamina, stay healthy as long as possible. The trainers are here. So I'm sure getting towards the end of the day, he probably is just looking at that ice bath, just wanting to dive in head first and get off these courts and get rested up for their long travels ahead.
I'd have to think you're right on that one. Looking forward to that break after the game as Minami gets ready for his next serve. And another beauty, man. He has got some serves, but that one's going to be out of bounds. But he does have some speed that comes off of that racket. Makes it tough on his opponents. This one's going to fall out of bounds again, and Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen will head to the changeover station and take a bit of a break here for a moment. Let's see what he's going to do.
Probably just getting a new racket or about to change something out. Because that last one, I mean, it wasn't the racket's fault, but he was a little off bounds. It kind of looked like he was more on the heels. He's tried to send one over, and he just never turned over his hand in time. So it's more of just a long shot there.
Almost could be a mental thing, too, and I'm not trying to say what Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen's thinking, but as a player when I played tennis, a lot of times I'd think that my racket wasn't performing in the same way that I wanted it to, and I'd want to do the same thing, switch out my racket, and maybe it's something like that just to feel a little bit more comfort.
Well, as a golfer, I always like to blame that it's the driver, it's the iron. Oh,
right.
my putter's broken. I need a new putter. It's its fault that I missed that 3-footer. So we like to make our equipment our enemy, but we're the one using the equipment. So, but yeah, it could be one of those things. Maybe he just didn't like the string, or maybe the wrapping isn't just right. One of those things where he's having trouble with the grip, so he's trying to maybe dry it off, or maybe he wants to go to another freshly wrapped racket, easier on the hands. Maybe put a little chalk on it. I have no idea, but yeah, can't always blame the equipment.
It's not always the equipment's fault. Nice from Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. Beautiful. He put a lot of spin on a lot of those shots, and eventually if Minami couldn't get the shot to ring in quickly, it wasn't going to work out. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen full send on that last shot and got it to go.
Yeah, very impressive there. He kind of sent that one a little wide, and, Minami was right there for it. But, yeah, it just kind of whistled right by him. No time to react on it. So
when you leave your opponent no reaction time, it is going to be hard for them to return it. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen taking advantage of that, getting himself a shot inside, and now a chance to tie it at 4 and get a break back here. And the call is going to be in. And Brostrom-Poulsen looked like he was fist bumping for a second there, but it does not appear that that is the case. And instead it was out. So 40-30, game continues on. First serve will not fall. Serve 2 coming up from Minami. Looks like that one is going to fall out. And Ozzy, as the choir at the Cathedral calls him, continues to be an absolute wizard over there on court number 2. And Brostrom-Poulsen's going to tie it at 4 for Middle Tennessee.
I think they did not let that one play out there, Dylan. I think there was a little rogue tennis ball that kind of went into
there you go.
Brostrom-Poulsen's view, so they're going to replay the point.
Point's not over yet. Now it's finally over. Third time's the charm. Apologize for my miscalculations there, folks. Math wasn't my first subject. But Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen's going to bring it to 4-4, and now we officially have a tie game over on court number 2. And he's got an opportunity now on serve to kind of get some momentum back. He's broken Minami over and has an opportunity to maybe get this game right where he wants it. We'll find that out shortly. First serve coming up here for Oscar. And that's out, but I like what Oscar was going for there. He was looking for that almost a backhand reverse shot. That would have been something to see if he could have landed it. Just couldn't get it that time.
Well, I think he felt that one was not going to be staying
right
in the baseline, so he just let that one go. Didn't want to risk it.
And Brostrom Poulsen, beautiful shot right on the left side. Again, putting some mustard on it. And that was a beauty. Delivered right to that left corner. And Brostrom Poulsen continues to add to his momentum. But we're going to head off of there, and we're going to check in on Court 5 to see what the latest is with Marcel Kamrowski. And we're going to see if he's having some success over on his court and if he can continue the momentum that he started earlier in this game. And there you see in the midst of his second setup, 4-3, 15 all, up against Tortajada. This one will fall to the outside. $15.40 at the moment. Serve coming up here from Marcel. This one will go to the outside. And we'll see Tortajada awaiting the next serve, as that's going to make it 30-40. Blue Raiders down with Marcel, but perhaps not for long.
Yeah, Tortajada has the advantage here with the break point opportunity. Try to keep this match going for him.
First serve falls short for Marcel. And this one will fall right into the netting as Tortajada perhaps going to lose this 40-15 lead. It's now deuce. Marcel Kamrowski can get it to 5-3 and get it just where he wants it. If he can land this final serve, you see Tortajada choosing the left side. We'll see if Marcel. And there, it catches nothing but netting, and Marcel Kamrowski in the midst of his third set.
Yeah, once again, two talented freshmen that we've seen on courts 4 and 6 here, or I should say 5 and 6.
Yes.
So of course, Baran being on 4, and Horak moving up to 3 as well. So 4 freshmen trying to get the job done here for this team. Seeing Matsuoka here with this tie-breaking set as they're going to do a race to 10. And Kamrowski just trying to get the job done here, going up that 5-3, holding his serve at the last point, now looking to break up Tortajada's serve here and winning straight sets. Off to a great start there.
And as you mentioned, this set on your right between Shu Matsuoka and Van Galen is going to be a 10-point tiebreaker due to the game already being won by Middle Tennessee. And Matsuoka, line drive right down the line. Nicely done. And Kamrowski will watch that one fall to the outside. And you saw Tortajada pumped up after that. That should make it 15 all. Or excuse me, 30 love. I think Tortajada was actually frustrated. Serve coming up here from Tortajada. This time it will be to the outside, and that will allow Tortajada to make it 30-15. As you see on your right, Matsuoka, Van Galen still going back and forth. It is now 8-6. Matsuoka just 2 away from clinching his third set. Or excuse me, his second set. Next serve coming up here. Van Galen now down 8-6. This one's going to go too far to the outside. Not happy about that one, and now Shu Matsuoka, 9-6, and he stands at the precipice of getting a big singles win against Austin Peay. And how big would that be for this freshman? First serve will fall wide. This one falls to the outside, and it looks like that Matsuoka will have to be content with it being 9-7, as Van Galen able to stave off defeat for the moment, and thus the 10-point tiebreak continues. Meanwhile, on your left, Kamrowski up 40-30, stands just 1 point away from taking out Torrejada. First serve goes wide for Matsuoka. And that's going to do it on your left. Marcel Kamrowski clinches the set. Meanwhile, on your right, Van Galen is going to extend it to 9-8. But what an impressive job by Marcel coming up and delivering today, and he's going to get himself a victory.
Yeah, impressive job once again. Having to recover from losing straight sets against his SMU opponent. Coming back and winning straight sets here. Great for the mentality, especially once again going on the road where he will probably see some action, whether it just be in doubles or both doubles and singles, most likely on court 5 or 6.
And that will be crucial when it comes to that Blue-Gray Cup Championship coming up soon. First serve falls short, and Van Galen has to be careful to avoid a disappointing double fault. And this one is going to fall to the outside again. So Shu Matsuoka having some trouble, and it's now 9-9. And this one is tight right now, tighter than spandex on a sumo wrestler. Somebody's going to have to come out on top. We'll see who soon as both head over to the changeover station.
Are you watching something that I'm just not aware of, like spandex on a sumo? First off, they're just like in diapers pretty much, but spandex, I mean, why? I
actually got that one from Reese Davis. Remember it from NCAA 14. Good times back then.
Yeah, but that was a video game. This is live.
It is live, but it's also fun. Kamrowski, as we
that.
mentioned, getting the victory, and now it's 9-9. Nothing like the joy of live. Speaking of live tennis here at the Adams Tennis Complex. If you're ever in the area, I would suggest coming down and seeing this spectacle because it is truly something that you can't find anywhere else. That one's going to fall to the outside, and that's going to allow Van Galen a bit more of an advantage. He gets to 10, but remember, you got to get it to 2. So if Van Galen sinks this next shot, he will claim the 10-point tiebreak and the entire game. Can Matsuoka rise to the pressure? And that was a shoe shiner right down the middle. Matsuoka now tied it at 10. And this tiebreaker continues. And Shu will chase down the next ball. And that one is going to almost be out. And this time, Van Galen gets the point. He's going to make it 11-10, and Matsuoka will have to come from behind one more time. What a fantastic tie-break match. What a display of talent from these two number 6s, putting on the match of the night, bar none.
Freshman on freshman. Love to see it. Taking advantage of these opportunities. Someone's going to come out with a victory.
Shows how much it means to these young players. Absolute classic developing. Van Galen getting ready for his first serve. Trying to give Austin Peay their first point of the night. First serve falls short. And we will await serve 2. Here comes serve number 2. And a dime delivered by Van Galen. And that's going to write a finish. So Van Galen gets a 12-10 tiebreaker victory here right at the end, but a brilliant match between him and Shu Matsuoka. Congrats to both players for delivering an absolute classic over there on court number 6. But Austin Peay will get their first point of the night, and that's got to be a sign of encouragement for Van Galen as Austin Peay looks to continue their season moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw two players that are going to be the future of their teams. And epic duel. Can't say anything about it. Just hats off to Van Galen. Yeah, certainly one he will remember getting started this season, having the opportunity to just continue fighting for that 6th spot and taking advantage of all the opportunities he has. And, you know, Shu played a great game. You know, came back from being down the first set, winning the second set, and just fought a great race to 10 there. I mean, just coming up a little short there, just could not quite get that last ball over the net, but just great opportunity for Shu Matsuoka.
And then there was one. We're now going to head over to court number 2 to check on the latest with Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. Actually, no, we have been notified that we will be waiting on that, so we will get that over as soon as we can. We're having some technical difficulties right now, but as we continue to await, we'll talk a little bit about the Blue-Gray Cup Championship coming up soon. Middle Tennessee comes in, being the defending champions, playing some late competition that they're going to play later in the season. How crucial do you think this is going to be for them, especially as they continue to want to make a national statement? Is winning this Blue-Gray Cup Championship going to be that more meaningful because of this?
Well, you're coming in as essentially the defending champion, right? You're the returning champion. And it's the opportunity to, you know, show some of the bigger names, the bigger schools that, you know, the little guy can win too. I mean, you're coming in pretty much as, you know, one of the group of 5, the only group of 5 team that's being represented in the Blue-Gray. Everyone else is a Power 5 conference.
Yes.
All right, so you're showing up not only the returning champion, but also, you know, anyone can win. You're a ranked team. You got some great doubles players. Ranked 110, top 110 singles players. And, yeah, so you probably do have a target on your back, but the opportunity awaits you, and you just have to go in and just remember that, you know, you're currently with the crown, so someone's going to have to take it from your hands. And moving forward after that, I think it just gives you extra opportunity to say to the teams that you face, that you're going to face along the road, that, you know, we still have that win over you, or, you know, or just if you do for some reason come up empty-handed, it's like, well, we got your number in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks or maybe even right after the Blue-Gray. So just either way, just have the opportunity to just show up and show out and, yeah, just let these players play.
That's what they'll look to do as that backhand is put right into the net, that time by Minami. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen will tie it up at 15. As we wind down things here at the Cathedral of Tennis. Brostrom-Poulsen awaiting the next serve from Minami. And as you mentioned, Middle Tennessee in that Blue-Gray Cup Championship will be getting everybody's best shot.
Mm-hmm.
That one will fall to the outside, and Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen will take a 30-15 lead. And Minami begins to feel the heat. Brostrom-Poulsen can clinch this without having to take it to a tiebreaker set if he can get it right here. Minami is on serve. Looking to give the Blue Raiders a 6-1 victory. That one will fall into the net. Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen finds himself just 1 point away now. Let's see if he can get that final shot that he needs. And that one will fall short. Serve 2 upcoming. And perfect placement by Minami, spiking it right over the net. Beautiful job. And that brings it to 40-30. We'll see if Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen can respond in just a moment. But again, this is proving to be a very competitive game. And Austin Peay trying to get a little bit more positivity coming out. But Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen known for finishing things.
Yeah, and you know, he's ranked in the top 110 for a reason, all right? He's been in these positions before. He's very talented, and he can take advantage of any opportunity that is presented with him. And yeah, Minami's doing a great job. Once again, we mentioned he's a talented freshman coming in for the Governors. As we see just right there at that well-placed shot. So, you know, it's not that Brostrom-Poulsen is playing any different. It's just his opponent is just very talented, equally talented if that. And once again, another player that will be the future for the Governors.
A true test of wills here between Brostrom-Poulsen and Minami. Deuce is now the scenario, but who will come out on top? And that'll do it. The beautiful misdirection from Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. And his shots fell all night like Wile E. Coyote off a cliff. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen will give Middle Tennessee a 6-1 victory as the number 21 Blue Raiders take down the Austin Peay Governors here in the Cathedral of Tennis. But a nice job all night by the Blue Raiders and a great day for them overall. They get 2 wins, first against SMU and now against the Austin Peay Governors.
Yeah, so once again, just a great way to wrap up the weekend. You know, 2 straight wins on Sunday here at the Adams Tennis Complex, and just moving forward, get you prepared for the Blue Gray tournament down in Montgomery here in a week. So just some momentum moving forward is once again as the returning champions to that tournament.
Well, that was certainly a great performance by Middle Tennessee, one that any Joe Six-Pack could be proud of. And the Blue Raiders now find themselves again in the perfect position to make a wave going into the Blue Gray Cup Championship. And we'll get all the remaining coverage and the post-game coverage with coaches' interviews and the player of the game. And we will get all post-game coverage coming to you live here momentarily, but we will be back with you shortly. Stay tuned here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard.
Outside of sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together,
we will continue the conversation.
we have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance." Happy 50th anniversary, Title IX. Thank you for giving little girls like me and big kids like Conference USA student athletes the opportunity to dream big.
Welcome back inside the Cathedral of Tennis, live in Murfreesboro. I'm Dylan Simmons. He's Ryan Martinelich, and we just saw the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders pick up a 6-1 victory over the Austin Peay Governors here, and definitely off to a great end this weekend as they head into the rest of the season. But now we've got head coach Jimmy Borendame here live with us to talk about the in-game action. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm good now. Thanks for asking.
Yes, sir. Love to hear that. All right, so you guys are just coming off a big victory over Austin Peay. It's been a weekend of ups and downs for you guys, but a nice finish to the weekend with some victories here on Sunday. What do you think is going to be the overall thing and the biggest message that you're going to take away moving forward into the rest of the season?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we can kind of put to bed the end of the indoor season. Today's probably our last indoor match. Scheduled indoor match, I should say. Everything else will be outside, and so we'll need to start to transition to the outdoor season. We kind of look at college tennis as an indoor and an outdoor season, and now with the weather starting to turn and blue-gray coming up and everything else, we'll only come inside if the weather switches it up on us. So 10-3 with wins over Duke and some tough teams. I mean. Yeah, maybe that Oklahoma State one probably got away from us, but overall, I'm pretty happy to be 10-3.
Coach, next week you got the Blue Gray. You're going to be the returning champions. What are you looking forward to the most next week going down to Montgomery?
Yeah, the returning champ. That last year's team won it. This is totally different team this year with 4 new guys. I mean, that's 50% of my squad that's new, and 2 out of the 6 are new in the lineup. And then, we got new teams this year at the Blue Gray. So it's not the same exact teams as it was last year. So, and also last year I think we had gotten one more match. We had gotten a match in outside before going in. The weather's going to be totally different. Last year it was like below 50 every day. It's supposed to be 84 degrees on Friday. And somewhere right there on Saturday. So it's going to be totally different tournament. The goal is to win the tournament. I don't like to look at it like a repeat kind of thing because it's all new characters in the story on both sides of the plot. So, but looking forward to it nonetheless.
Love to hear that. We're definitely going to be interested to see how that Blue Gray Cup championship ends up for you guys. And going back to today, and especially this match against Austin Peay, we've seen some great contributions from your freshmen. And it reflects the youth of Middle Tennessee. 5 of the 6 players who played in the singles were either sophomores or freshmen. What does this youth and their performance today say about the future for Middle Tennessee men's tennis?
Yeah, this group is really talented. I mean, I know Shu didn't get the W over there today, but, the kid's coming along. His confidence is coming through in doubles. He didn't play great today, but, he can play. Baron is the same. What can you say about Andre? The guy hasn't lost yet. So, I don't know. Maybe this week I'll play him in practice and try to, kick his butt so, he'll have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder or something. I'll get the doubles alleys, just to put him in his place a little bit. But, I'm very excited. This group is pretty cool. Like, obviously next year this time we're going to be playing at the new outdoor tennis complex, and I think that's part of the reason we were able to recruit this good young group. And it's pretty cool to see the torch being passed from some of the older guys to the young guys, and see which ones are going to step up to the plate and be the leaders.
All right, sounds great, Coach. Well, thank you so much. Go enjoy this victory, and good luck in the Blue Gray Cup.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach Jimmy. Well, great words from him. We saw the eagerness and the passion he's got for the Blue Gray Cup coming up, but also for this team in general and the freshmen, the way they performed, and really the way this whole team performed and bounced back on a Sunday. After that disappointing loss to Oklahoma State, this team sent a message that they're not going to be downtrodden that easily.
No, and why would you? And once again, come in. It was a very close game on Friday, right? 4-3. Just couldn't quite get the right breaks. But, yeah, once again, you're winning here twice in a row at the Adams Tennis Complex on Sunday. So just to get that momentum. And, yeah, once again, Coach said it's a new team going down to Montgomery. But, once again, you still are the defending champion. So
yes,
you just have that to look forward to, knowing that you are going down there as a returning champion. So
certainly will be interesting to see if Middle Tennessee can follow up on that success. But a guy who knows a thing or two about success, especially here, Mr. Andre Horak. Andre, congratulations. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you guys?
We are doing fantastic. Well, first question I want to start with, you are up to, I believe, 11-0 now in singles. You're having an incredible season thus far, off to a blazing hot start. What's been the secret, and is this success something that you're really looking forward to, or is it more something where you're just taking it one game at a time?
I mean, as you said, I'm taking one game at a time. Like, I'm just trying to help the team match by match. And, in the practice, we're just trying to develop, like, all my skills and looking forward for my game and just, like, trying to play the best. And I hope it's going to be one of the best seasons for me this year.
Does winning ever get boring? Because you've just done it so often now at this point. Do you get bored? You trying to, like, think of something while you're on the court? Like, what's going on there?
Nah, I mean, I was struggling, I think, like 2 weeks ago. I almost lost against, I think it was Illinois. I played 2 matches in 3 sets, so unfortunately I found a way how to win, but it was a close match, so basically I'm just trying to focus point by point and don't think that I'm winning.
And this is something that I've been personally curious about, especially. The older guys, of course, are still here for Middle Tennessee, guys like Stein Slump, Francisco Rocha, Pavel Model. What have you learned from them, and what have you used from them that you've now taken into your game, and what do you use it to translate it onto the court?
Yeah, so when I came in the fall, they told me that it's totally different, like from the college tennis, from the professional tennis. And I couldn't believe myself when I played first 3 tournaments, college tournaments. So I got used to in the fall, and now in the spring, their experience, it helped me a lot, and I'm just glad for it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Andre. Congratulations. Good luck next week, and once again, get off to that hot start and keep going.
Thank you so much.
Well, great stuff from Andre right there, Ryan. And again, he has had an incredible season, looking to keep it going forward, but he has absolutely made a statement thus far in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, undefeated, taking it point by point. Great statement right there. Just not getting within himself and just allowing himself to just enjoy his time on the courts and continue that success. And like I said, just hopefully get another dub down at the Blue Gray.
I love the words as well. Taking it one game at a time, that's the way to do it, and that's how it continues to get that success. But as for us, we are now out of time. Again, thank you all so much for watching here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV. This will be our final match for a while, at least until March. But whenever we come back for the next tennis match, we will be letting you know. But make sure to continue to follow us here at MTN Sports and Middle Tennessee News for all your Middle Tennessee men's and women's tennis action. We want to thank MT Athletics for allowing us to broadcast inside the beautiful Cathedral of Tennis, the Adams Tennis Complex. But again, thank you all so much for watching. He's Ryan Martinelich. I'm Dylan Simmons. And for everybody here at MTN Sports, so long and have an